This is Two Shy Guys a Mile High. Cue the damn music. Yo, 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 it's your boy P-Wil back in the building.
Al Digger.
WB, come fly with me.
Hey, what's good with y'all, man? How y'all feeling?
Mentally drained, man.
You do that every episode. Every episode, watch out for this. Every episode, I say that question. He always, what you?
Gotta get the woosah out, man, first, and then we can get to the crux of the matters, man. That's all. Just getting it warmed up a bit, man.
Yeah, my grandmama said, I'm hanging. Shout out to Jessie Lowry, my grandmama. I'm hanging.
Mackin', hanging. Mackin', hanging. Hey, man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm just feeling good. Blessed, as always. Blessed to see another day, be back on this earth, walking around, doing my thing. And I just feel blessed, man. Everything's been going in the right direction. You got to look at the positives and the negative. 2020's been a tough year so far. But we enduring this. We got each other's backs, and we gonna make it through this. It's gonna be more good days ahead of us. We just gotta buckle down right now and just make it through as a team, man.
Better days. Tupac.
It's a speed bump, man. I mean, on the journey of life, man, and this is why the podcast is important for us to be able to just kind of share some of those things and how did the journey start? You know,
it's just coming from 3 black men in STEM trying to win.
Yeah, for real, and that's what it's about, man. Like, how do we get to this point right now? Like,
yeah. So why STEM? That's what we're gonna talk about. Why STEM? Why would we pick STEM? What is STEM? Or nowadays STEAM? Like STEM. Well, it started off as SET, right? Science, Engineering, Technology.
Ooh.
That's how it started off.
It started as a set?
Yeah, it started off. What set you from?
Industrial engineering, homie!
Double D.
Hey, it started off as that Science, Engineering, Technology.
I didn't know that. I mean, that's interesting, dude. As we go through and start learning certain things, you know, I was always under the assumption it was just a STEM thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so how did the math and stuff get in that, you know? So STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. I mean, that's the acronym. And so talking about how do we get involved with that. So, yeah.
But like STEAM, they call it STEAM now because I know they added arts to it. So science, technology, engineering, arts, math.
Right.
How y'all feeling about that?
I'm indifferent. For real. I love the arts. My mom used to take me to different performing arts, plays, theater. I love it. I love physical art. I love museums and stuff like that too. But I think art is a separate discipline to me. So I'm not sure about putting the A in the STEAM. I'm not hating on it at all. But unless I'm viewing it the wrong way, I don't think the A should be there. I'm not hating on y'all, but y'all got
this is a good discussion, man. And it's like art. So back it up. So what would you define art as being then? Like, what are you thinking art is? Is it something like a discipline?
So I looked that thing up, and the main difference between STEM and STEAM is STEM explicitly focuses on scientific concept. STEAM investigates the same concepts, but does this through an inquiry and problem-based learning methods used in the creative process. That's the definition of what they defined on this Google search.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was a good quick work, but to me, is I take the look and what he's just articulated and break that down a little bit. I think, what are we talking about here? Like, why is the A in there? Because at the core principle of the stuff, when the science, technology, engineering, and math, when you go through the rigor of that, that's where the magic happens. It's not art, it's the discipline underneath that. So if we go down to the core of it, it's the STEM, not the A.
I get it. I mean, and that's fair. I mean, that's not like saying, you know, one is worse or than the other. I think it's just the way you package the learning curriculum, right? So if you want it to be more, let's say, science-based, right, math-based, and math in itself, to me, is an art. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, I think learning math and understanding the concepts and what it can do you incorporate that in everyday life, right? So that's an art form, like a discipline.
The art of math.
Form, the art of math. So I think
the art of storytelling.
But that's also an art. That's also an art as well, right? So when you get up into meetings and things like that, you have an art of how you relay information, right? You get up there, you're prepared, you kind of know what to do.
You always say about it when you're doing STEM, you're working with numbers. When you're telling a story with numbers. That's art.
You're painting a picture, I think, and so the art of storytelling can be done in that form. But I'm saying you don't have to have that be a particular discipline if you just want to be involved with just STEM concepts.
Yeah. I ain't hating on it. It's just different.
It's just different. And don't get twisted. Like when I'm coding and stuff, I think that there is a quote unquote art to it, but it's not art. It's coding. At the end of the day, like that's just a facet of it, but it's at the core is coding. So that's just where I'm coming from. And, my opinion can be changed. And it also lets me know that I can make up anything I want as long as I have the fortitude to keep sticking with it and find some type of evidence and some money to put it together. I can start changing policies around here.
I mean, so this is a good discussion, though. This is good discussion, man. And so I think that we're seeing people are opening their mind up to different concepts, right? We're taking things that we've learned, 5, 10, 15, 30 years ago, and we're repackaging it in a way.
But I think the more that we talking about it, I think you liking it a little bit more. That art's in there, though. You thinking about it a little bit.
I mean, of course.
I think both of them can exist together. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there has to be it's either STEM or STEAM. I think that depending upon the approach you take. I mean, you still have the STEM in there. So, I mean, so the core principle of it is still there. You're adding something more to it.
Yeah.
You're not taking away from it. So, I'm with you there. And like I said, I think we're both just very passionate about it. It's just a different approach. And that's all it is.
What's going to be the next letter they add up in there?
Yeah.
I mean, they stream. I heard stream, though. With the reading aspect.
Man,
stream. And if it's not out there, then Two Shot Guys a Mile High has patented it now.
We gonna
but
be
I don't know.
streaming.
I think it's stream. I believe so. And then you're adding a reading concept. So I think it's just people are realizing that all these principles together really make up.
You just spit some knowledge right there. I don't know. If we don't get the patent for Steam, we go stream.
I mean, but if it's out there, it's out there. But
we will date ourselves on this recording.
But I'm saying I think at the end of the day, we're all learners. Like we want to learn. And I think we can all agree on that no matter what the curriculum is. It's about I want to understand myself better. And it could be in arts, it could be in engineering, it could be in any facet. And you can name it, like you said, you can name it what you want.
So what's the reason why you chose the STEM field?
My parents. I was exposed to it at a very early age. My dad, he graduated from Grambling with a computer science degree. My mom graduated from Grambling, computer science. So that was just all I was around. Yeah. I've just been blessed for real. And when I was in around fourth grade, maybe fifth grade, my dad was leading the team that developed the OnStar technology. So at the really prototype phase, he's like that's his people's running that. So I was exposed to that at a real early age.
That's dope.
Always been around computers, like programming, like math, like space, going out of space. At one point in time, I thought I was going to be an astronaut, but. So it was just always in me and always around me. And then I have an uncle. He did electrical engineering.
Wow.
Just a lot of people in my family. Just exposure to it.
Just black excellence, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's where
And then then my grandfather doctor, my aunt's anesthesiologist.
Legacy, boy.
Yeah.
Legacy, man. That's what it's about. And P-Dub, man, I know you had an interesting...
Yeah, I would just say my parents too, but it ain't from like what they was doing. But my dad worked in the plant, and he just saw what the engineers did because usually with engineers you got to discuss operations with people out there doing the work in whatever field it is, and he just seen that he was pulled into because he was a team leader. He was pulled into those meetings and seen what they did, and he just told me about the job aspect of it, and he also know that they, it was high paying.
They got money.
Yeah. It's a way out of the situation.
It's a way out,
and it's a good way. It's a way that you can literally learn your way out of a situation, and that's why I think we're so passionate about this, because it really changed our lives. The fact that STEM, whatever you want to call it, stream, whatever you want to call it, like we had to really focus in on something that was greater than ourselves. I think.
Yeah, and that's where it all stemmed from. I think like just critical thinking, critical analysis, just being able to analyze the surroundings, because we do that naturally.
Yes, sir.
And being able to put my mind together to think of complex situations and how to get out of that, and putting things together and adding things up, and like you said, numbers and math. It's a science to it. It's an art to it.
Straight cooking. You get all these variables, all these different things that you got to just put into your head and put some risk behind it too, and then marinate, season it, shake it up, and then serve it on a hot platter. That's just some awesomeness. So I think that's one of the gifts that I've definitely been blessed with, is the ability to kind of take out the big picture and then see the pieces of the puzzle, start putting together, start breaking the process down, and be like, hey. But I think that also can lead me to be a little bit annoying sometimes, because I will ask questions, because I'm just always trying to figure out how to improve it, what's going on, what was your thought process. I mean, I was just asking earlier, we just had a little, situation where we just talk about communication. I'm just trying to analyze, like, where did the misconnection happen? I'm like, so it's just inside of me. It's just,
that's where the healthy debate is it comes from.
I think
that's where the curiosity, and that's where, I honestly feel that's why we are where we are. That natural curiosity that keeps us going, and keeps us asking those questions, even if they're tough questions. It could be something more to it. Let me just stop getting in my feelings. Let's go critical analysis. And then you can piece it together and say, you know what? Hey, okay, I was wrong there. Or this situation could have been handled a little bit better. It's that analytical piece where you can step out of the situation and say, wait, how can I be better no matter what, or who was at fault? How can I be better the next time?
But you need perspective too, and just learning other people's perspective when solving a problem can help with it as well. Because you might have felt a certain type of way, but when you asked me what's my perspective on it, I could understand both sides of the story, and bridging that gap was just another connecting piece to that whole root cause analysis, what you try to understand. Yeah. So about perspective and different thought processes or thought patterns, because like just what it might have been a lack of communication, I might have understood it a different way, because it's conversation happening between three people. So
now you're getting the full picture. You're getting the full picture. And to go back to what you guys were talking about, the perspective, like the way I got into STEM, it was totally different. Like my mother was like, she grew up, just in the 50s in Mississippi, you know what I'm saying, and found her way up to Chicago, and that was whole another story, another blessing. But how I found engineering was somebody really came and did like one of the like parent-teacher, show and tell type of deals. And shout out to Holy Name of Mary, man. My elementary school guy came in and said, hey, you guys are in this class. You too can, do engineering. Black dude. I have never seen an engineer. I saw one on TV at Star Trek. Johnny LaForge, real talk. Black engineer. I'm like, yo, what's that? And then I heard that in class, and it started to get my wheels turning. I'm like, okay, engineering. And then my mom, she gave me that one thing. Said, boy, you can do numbers in your head very well. You should. And then I heard it from her, numbers. And I just dug into it. Got into high school and dug into it, and we're like, you gotta have these grades. You gotta take these classes. And I was like, oh man, there's a lot of math involved. So got involved in the math clubs, things like that. Got in, started looking at stuff and saying, oh, I can do it. I can solve problems. This can get me out of the situation I'm in by just learning, how to think critical, how to analyze a situation, how to think logically. And I just kept going, man. And, just for the sake of the story, the rest is history, man. Yeah. Somebody came and actually said something that sparked that interest in me that I didn't even know was an opportunity.
Yeah, then it even exposed me more when I was in college, because that's how I knew about SET. When I was an RA, basically, the community advisor or residential advisor in the dorm, when I was doing that job, I was set on the SET house wing of the Douglas. Shout out to Douglas. It got knocked down, but that dorm, I was on the SET house, so the curriculum of stuff we kept on the boards, and all the stuff was geared and focused on the STEM field. So just being exposed to it, and that's what I was already going to school for. It just kind of worked out that way.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So I was exposed to it even more and just trying to hustle, and I'm seeing it every day. So, repetitive process, you start looking at something too, like, all the time, it's going to get stuck in your head. You know what I'm saying? So just being around that helped gear it for me and understand, like, what am I getting myself into? But I like the challenge it comes with it, and it gets me thinking more, just understanding how to solve problems, because you get to those points where it may discourage you, and it's what knocks a lot of people out and get people discouraged. It's like, man, it's tough.
Yeah.
It was a tough road, but it's worth it when you get to it,
yeah. I didn't know nothing about that set, because that FAMU, the only set you talking about is on that little strip on Fridays. That be on Swole. That's the only set I know. So shout out to you to actually educate me on that. There's always continuous improvement and knowledge. That's why I appreciate y'all.
Hey, you already know. I know another type of set too.
Hey. Talk about that one, man.
Hey.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
But like for those that are listening and thinking about the STEAM, stream fields, whatever,
go for it.
Go for it. Like don't let anything discourage you. Especially, nowadays. The technology is there to bridge those information gaps that you think you might be.
You got that cross market of skills that you learn from it, and then the pay, like I said, and the job availability, because it's always a need for people in computer science. You see that's taking off. You see data analytics and numbers and mathematicians and all that stuff taking off. So
problem solving. And I think I've said this a couple times on the podcast. I really need my black people to start getting in STEM. There are analytics being ran. There are models being written and coded, that if we don't insert ourselves in this process, please believe it will be used against us to subjugate us, keep us down, and keep us not advancing. So if you're not in these fields and you're not infusing your knowledge so you can unblock the unconscious bias that people may have from connecting the dots, that's going to be very key too. So we need to be in the room to have these discussions. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just going to be whatever happened in the physical world is going to be on the digital world. So why is this even? We need to be on the forefront and be in the conversation at least.
Yeah,
because technology is just evolving and we can't be left behind.
No, and that's why
innovation.
We do this, man. Like we do what we can to help and get the message out there. Like it doesn't matter where you come from. Like hopefully you hearing our stories, and hopefully we can inspire or at least help or be an ear to let you know you're not alone out here doing this stuff. Like
and it's good too to see the black women in there and women in general just in there as well, because I understand, like, I don't support the reason why there's a gender gap in terms of what the pay is, but in the STEM field is more narrow. The women make just as much as what the men make in the STEM field or close to it. So I would say get that money while you can, for sure. Because I know the world is not fair. So once you subject and show your skills at what you're doing and telling your story and showing what your art is, they're going to pay for it. And they're going to need to until you be able to develop your own. Until we can, like you were saying, WB, understand what it takes to create our own out here so we can be the black enterprise like what we need to be.
Entrepreneurs that we're born to be. I mean, you don't have to stay where you are. You know, it's about make that choice. You know, we have to continuously make the choice to stay focused on it. It's not easy, but at the same time, you know what your why is. You know what I'm saying? I know what my why was. It was like, I see my mom doing something. I can't let her down, because she at least trying to get us out of the neighborhoods that we in. And she trying. Like, she could be spending time with me, but she working 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Doing other things, trying to put... It's just me and her. So I got to at least try. That was my why. And you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we've made our parents as proud as we can, but we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
No, we ain't never done.
We ain't going nowhere.
we
bad boys going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now.
It's still shine out in the mile. Let's get it. Hey, for real though.
I don't know what that was, but we're gonna have to clean that up and bring it back one day. We look like them at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Hey, no, but it's just cool. I appreciate the stories. I appreciate y'all telling me about y'all STEM journey and how y'all got there. I appreciate dropping the knowledge on the SEC class or what it was before. But like always, we want to hear from y'all out there. How y'all feel about the STEM field? How do y'all feel about it being called STEAM, Stream, or Scheme? What y'all thinking? But as always, follow us on Instagram, Two Shy Guys a Mile High. Follow us like us on Instagram, listen to us on iTunes, tap in on Spotify, rate the content, like the content, love the content, share it with your mama, share it with whoever you knowing, share it with whoever next to you. Bring somebody else back up in here to listen to it with you. Plug that one that you can share, stream stuff on your AirPods. So I want the person next to you listening to this too. Nah, we appreciate that, man. But that's STEM. That's what we feel about STEM. It's your boy P-Wil.
It's your boy WB. Come fly with me.
Al Digger. Appreciate y'all.
One love.
In the bonus.
I know, but
I get it, man. I ain't talking bad about Steam, but it went from Steam to Stream, and now why can't it just be STEM plus whatever the extra is? Like, why I got?
you just gotta let it be known. You're gonna get this and this and this. So it's just probably more of a like, you know what you get. That's it.
You do STEM. So why you gotta put extra stuff in my stuff?
Look, you preach to the choir, sir. It's STEM based.
Well, should it have changed from set then?
Set is underlining.
Did we just
you got the same letters?
we had math in there? Is that messing up? Is that blowing up the block?
You got the science, engineering, tech. That's
math. Debo, they way.
Man,
math said we gonna be in here. What y'all gonna do?
I agree with math.
The basis of math runs everything right now. The numbers tell the story to everything.
Yeah, for real.
They like respect your elders.
That's why they have to put. That's where the STEM came from. So there you go. It's set. You just put the
but that's it.
But then you had that art. Art came in there, and art people was just looking at art like, hold on, we don't know.
Art.
We don't know how we feeling.
I think it can, but to me, engineering is an art, though. So that's why I can see.
So what about reading? What they do to
the
read?
Art of reading, the art of engineering.
Art is finesse up in there. People just turn around and was like, dang, you just added art? When you
just gonna add art everything.
I think people just overlooked it.
Well, I hope you can read, in there. But if you need to know, we got Stream as well.
I think Reed just hopped in there because they were like, man, we just gonna make it sound good. We just gonna add another letter, bro.
No, they just did it just to confuse us more because now you're gonna think about Stream, like what context? Just making an art so for no reason.
Keep it simple. Look, it's all based in STEM. And that's it. It's based in STEM. You can add whatever letters you want to.
It's based in set, man.
It's based in set.
What set you from? I don't know anything about any sets.
Nope.
I'm from North Carolina.
We're talking about tennis. Game, set, match. That's about all I know.
Hey, I don't know nothing about no set. I know about offset. Woo, woo.
Hey. Set it off.